Hello everyone. I thought that I would share my MTG Magic the Gathering proxy powered cube with you because we were talking about this on the Hades stream today on Twitch, and it made me really excited to share it. And it's been a while since I've unearthed this from our closet. It's been like a couple of months at least, probably more than a couple of months since it's like kind of dusty since we since we played with this, because we've been a little bit excited about new decks and like playing Commander. But I love this cube so much. If you're a Magic fan, and you're thinking that like you can't really continue to play Magic because it's so expensive, then having a cube of some sort might just be for you. Especially if you want to try out new cards, but you don't want to like invest in something that's going to go out of style soon, or you don't want to keep on paying for drafts or for what are they called, sealed play. You can just use a cube and make your own draft or sealed what are they called? What's the word I'm looking for? Draft or sealed packs to play with. This one's old. It's from 2015. Look at this nice case I have though. Isn't it lovely? It's like a little briefcase that protects my cube from danger. And it has the spell book on it and these little clasps that let me open it up. And then once I open it up, these are my cards. They're all proxy cards. That I printed off of Cube Tutor, I think is the website. It's just I think the most popular pre-constructed cube, which is like Ben's cube, I think. Don't quote me on that. It might not be Ben. It might be someone else's name, but it's definitely one of those ones. And I just printed it out. I went through and pulled all 720 cards, card art, and put it in a nice PSD Photoshop template and printed them all out at the print shop. So these cards are actually like thicker cardstock cards. They're matte, but they're slightly like, if you can see, they're slightly like shiny, the same way a Magic card is shiny, I think. You can see that this one's the proxy, and this one's like they're both kind of glossy, but like matte gloss, not like real gloss. Although it doesn't really matter because they all go in these Dragon Shield plastics. If you're ever gonna do a proxy cube or any cube at all, I would really suggest getting good plastics, like good quality plastics. These are our second set of plastics. Our first one lasted us a couple of years, and then just kind of died an ignoble death. So I would recommend getting good plastics because you're going to be shuffling these a lot and handling them a lot, and you don't want to mess up. You don't want to have to buy new plastics constantly. We do have several extra that we keep in the cube. And here are some life counters. I really like these. I bought them from Amazon. They're like a good quality like plastic, and they're really handy to have. We have 4, but I also have some D20 life counters here. Big ones. They're so pretty. And some extra dice for like tokens and things like that. Oh, and I also have these. I hardly ever use them, but we have these like metal counters that I also ordered from Amazon, I think. Like +1, +2, -1, -2. Just really useful stuff. But to be honest, I almost always just use these little 6-sided dice. And yeah, look how good these look. I mean, they're not perfect, but you can they're definitely usable. If you don't look real close, you can't tell that they're proxies. And even if you could tell, I mean, that's the point. You cannot tell the difference when you're shuffling them in a deck with these lands, which are actual lands and not proxies. So that's really good. But yeah, let me pick one at random to show you. You can see that it is a little blurry, but if you're playing it like this, it's no problem. And if you're just playing it, it's never a problem. Depending on the prices at your print shop, it might be really economical to go ahead and print yourself out your own deck or your own cube. It doesn't have to be 720 cards. I think they have 360 card ones and some other numbers. They could even make like a 120 if you just want to draft for like 2 or 3 people. Oh, speaking of 120 cubes, if you're not into like making a whole Magic proxy cube or even making your own proxy cube with your existing cards, there's a fun game called Epic, the card game, that's kind of like a mini, like it's like a Magic Light kind of game. It's like if you've always wanted to get into Magic and kind of see what that's all about, but you haven't, Epic, the card game, is actually a really good way to try out kind of like the Magic formula, because they have a lot of mechanics, game mechanics that are almost exactly the same but with different names, and it's really cheap. Like you can get a game like a 120 card deck, a cube actually of cards that you could play. You can draft with it for like up to 4 people. I think you can do drafts, or you can do like pre-constructed cards, because they have 4 different colors of cards, so you can make 30 card decks. It doesn't use mana, which is like these lands, so it's easy to pay. The games are very swingy and epic, so depending on your playstyle, you might love that or you might hate it, but I do recommend it. I wonder if I have a copy out there somewhere. I actually have a bigger like deck box of those Epic the card game cards, because we just wanted more variety, so we added like some expansions and then also like an extra set of the base card game. But I did at one point, when it was on sale, just purchase a couple of boxes and gave them away as stocking stuffers to friends, because I think they were only $10 each. $10 for a game that you can play with 4 of your friends that has relatively deep strategy is amazing. So check that out. I will try to leave a link in the description if I remember and if I don't, please remind me and I'll do that. I guess I'll leave a link to like these things too, if anyone's interested in them. But yeah, this is my baby. I made it in 2015. It's still going strong. We've played so much with it. We've had so much fun. Like, I can't count the number of times we've drafted with these cards, and every game is always really fun because they're using powered cards that you really can't afford. Like, that's another thing. If you want to play really epic like Magic card games, you kind of have to have the right type of deck to play those kinds of games, and the right type of decks usually require cards that are really expensive to purchase or like that are out of print. For example, I think like a Black Lotus in here, which of course you can't have unless you're like a millionaire or really lucky and got into Magic really early. And so yeah, so you can play like with really amazing cards and not have to worry about damaging them. If you're playing with your friends, you can just like play them while you're eating. You know, like it's wonderful. It's a great way to play Magic, especially if you don't care about being the most up to date. Like if you're just into Magic for the fun and the strategy and like the good times, then this is a good way to go. Yeah, so that was it. Thank you for watching. I hope that was enjoyable. Ooh, bonus thing is I got these pretty dice. I'm probably gonna use them for Magic life counters or other types of counters as well, because they're so pretty. Look at them. They're so sparkly. Okay, that's the end. Bye bye.